So we attached our pattern, we threaded our needle with a double thread, and now I shall start at the very tip of the leaf. I pick up one bar, and then I have the loop at the end of it. So in order to secure it, I go through the loop and the thread is firmly attached to the net without having a tail that needs weaving in. So that's one way of securing a thread without leaving any trace. Now, a running stitch, I do the outline in a running stitch, which is basically in, out, following the pattern. It's best not to skip any hexagons if it can be helped. Simply, you get a better outline. There's less opportunity for anything to snag later on because there isn't any big gaps in between the threads. Then one thing to remember is when you have a curve, always stay to the outline. Stick with the outside of the curve. Because when you tighten the thread, it will move towards the inside of the curve. So if there's a question where to go because of the size of the hexagons, stick to the outside of your curve. And also remember, if it's not 100% accurate, you will remove the pattern and then nobody will know that it's not exactly according to the pattern. And especially if it is plant life, it's organic, it hardly ever will have completely straight lines. Okay. So here I'm sticking to the outside of the curve. Once I pull my thread through, and the nice thing with using a hook, you can turn it to adjust to the direction that you're sewing in. If you're left-handed, that will be from left to right. If you're right-handed, it will be from right to left. Now I'll have to make my way back down here. But to make it look right, I think I'm gonna first go a few stitches up in the direction that I'd already did earlier on. This is a somewhat longer stitch that goes over 2 hexagons, but it's in the back that it gets a longer stitch. But it's because I've already done the front and I don't want it to get too thick. Okay, now I go back across here. I go back here so that it doesn't leave any gap between the threads when I change direction. So I'm staying at the outside of the curve here. But once the thread is tightened, it isn't as much on the outside as it looked like to start with. And I want to give the leaf a bit of a curve, so I'm going a little more. All right. And now next is the stem. Now here, if you look, I don't want to go straight down here because it would leave a little bit of a gap between those two threads. So I cross over here. I go in, I cross over the thread that I've already sewn down. From here, I am going to do this part. What I'll be doing is I will do a whip stitch around the stem that is already done. That way it will look like one thread rather than two separate ones. And then I will carry on over in this direction.